We got guests with us. We got, for example, the guys from the Groove Crew on Instagram with us. And I'll take the time now to, first of all, I'm very thankful for the chance for Hannah and Brad that I actually have, have the chance to take over their Instagram account for this one. It is a very special episode, as you saw maybe, in the morning, that I wrote really down some notes, so I can actually show that to you right now, how this roughly looks like. So the compilation consists of 15 tracks, and I want to actually kind of give it a full review, analysis, talk about the different parts. Let me just quickly share this on Twitter, obviously, and I'm very thankful for everybody who's watching. And as it was with the Kryteria album, I want actually to take a bit of a, I want actually to loop now a bit, so that actually I don't play too much in the beginning. Who's watching, it's gonna be a bit more of a, I would say, more honest, maybe more, I don't know, like a bit more, maybe not mature, I don't know, I want to take it a bit more seriously, so a little more of a serious approach. And yeah, I'm very thankful for everybody who's watching, and yeah, I'm very thankful for all the people that, all the producers that released there. So the compilation was out on April 19th, so that was last week on Friday. So it's the 5th release on Kryteria, after Romani, La Cumbiambiera, Bingo Bango remix, and the first is God Save the Groove compilation. And the first compilation was split up in two, once again, in 3 parts, basically. There were 35 tracks, so it was basically a lot over there back then. And yeah, I'm surprised that they are continuing this part of the compilation. So it's been actually the 5th or 6th year, like 5 months roughly. And yeah, I believe that nobody's going that path in our label. So, for example, Chami's label, Confession, you already hear the background, the first track of the compilation. I believe that Confession, the label by Chami, has also their EPs and compilations, but not with as many tracks. So, and also because Kryder's tracks are highly anticipated already. Tracks like Get Funky, Sunshine, or Blade 3000. It's very interesting that we're still having these compilations and not tracks by Kryder yet on this very label in general. So I'm starting off with a HELIX and Collide. So maybe let's go back a bit to the intro. Yeah, and of course, feel free to tell me your opinion about every single track. Feel free, of course, to share both on Groove Crew Instagram and on my Facebook and on my Instagram. And yeah, I'm gonna start off with Collide now, the first track. And let me just quickly write down this on Twitter. Yeah, it always takes a bit of time, to set up everything, and for those actually that are new also. Yeah, this Kryder Tom Star t-shirt, by the way, is custom made, so I'm actually very, thankful that it is that original. So yeah, Groove Volume 2, and I'm gonna add Kryder and of course Kryteria. So yeah, so. First track is Collide by HELIX featuring Nico Lucarelli. So the guys from HELIX, at least one of them, I know for a longer time. Jordan and David, they're called. They're from the US. And Jordan I know from ADE 2 years ago. So I met him for the first time. And that was the first time I heard about a new project by him, and that was, I believe, this project called HELIX. He wanted to make it a bit more transy, I would say. But yeah, he was earlier the Digital Junkies, so maybe some of you still remember them. So that was, yeah, really 3 or 4 years ago. I loved their music, absolutely. And first time I heard this track on Kryteria 155. That was in October 2018. There was a trance remix special back then. And that was basically just before ADE, because, well, it's October 2018 was before ADE. And back then, I swear, it was called Motorcycle When the Rush Comes HELIX Remix. So we can really see that there was really a story. So in the beginning they thought they'll do an official remix or something like this, and then they made they found a new vocal and they really made that all up. So this is very interesting to watch. And I always love when these little stories about the tracks in general. So yeah, we had actually we already heard this drop, 45 seconds long, a mix of uplifting progressive with a bit of a trancey vibe. So Sid actually, tries, to put in this trancey vibe a bit still in there. And the vocals kick, after the first drop, and they fit nicely. I still love the bootleg though. And here to these two snares. And this track is one of its kind on this compilation, so we don't have any other as melodic track here right now. And when I see that correctly, Chris is now watching, which is a huge honor. Thank you so much for joining. And of course, thanks also to join to Steve. Yeah, and we will hear now on the outro a very special FX that kind of adds onto the finished track. And it's coming, I believe, right now. This. So yeah, I like that a lot. I like when you add something special to the outro, so it's not really just an outro just to mix it to the next track. So yeah, they really took an effort. They really thought of a good structure, arrangement of the track, which is important nowadays, I believe. And yeah, as already mentioned, it's one of its kind on the compilation, and I believe as an opening track, it fits very well on the compilation. Yeah, Chris, thank you so much that you joined. This is a huge honor for me. As you know, I'm supporting Chris for a very, very long time already. We know each other for, I believe, 5 years now, and yeah, I'm very thankful for your and Olindo's work, and that I can actually still enjoy the music as much as I do still. And yeah, this actually means a lot to me, and not only me, but for the whole small community that we are, basically. So it's growing and growing, which is great to see. And yeah, and I hope that there's more music to come. And I'm very thankful today or tonight that I can actually review this, and hope that you'll enjoy it. Yeah, so I will take the time to go through every single track and tell what I like about it, and what is so special about every single track, because I believe every single track of them is different. So I believe 3 or 4 I would categorize in the same category, maybe, then later on. But for now, yeah, well, we cannot, for example, like compare this kind of track, like we just heard Collide by HELIX, with this one that is coming up, number 2 on the compilation. Maybe for those who are wondering, maybe Chris, if you're still watching, I was looking up and it's not a beatport available yet, so I hope that that they will catch up soon, or whoever is, whoever is there to do this, because I'm not involved in the label, as maybe some people think, but I'm not. So yeah, I bought it off Google Play. I said this already yesterday on Kryteria Radio as well. There it was available. I was very happy that at least there. And Calixto, thanks that you joined in, and Hannah as well. Yeah, and Steve and the Dirty Players also over there on Insta. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, up next, Crusy, Jose de Mara, and NORII with the Beber. We already heard the outro a bit, so the intro a bit. It's one of my favorites. So I believe someone on Twitter asked me, what are your favorites on this compilation? And yeah, I believe the Beber is definitely one of these. It's a Spanish-Japanese co-production, and it was an idea for a very, very long time on Kryteria Radio. So Michael, why is it not on Beatport yet? I don't know. I am surprised myself. So maybe someone actually missed the deadline there or whatever. I don't know. So I don't want to speculate anything about it. I'm happy that I got it off Google Play, and I can actually do it right now. So it was for the first time played during ADE. this the Beber track I'm talking about, and earlier during Arcadia Night. So a club concert by Jose de Mara and Crusy, and let's go on to the drop now. Great interlude, by the way. This is my favorite part. Boom, boom. And this is actually what this track is all about. So really, those two main synths are really mixed together. One is that one, and one is the other one. And yeah, absolutely sick one. Also, I like the mix. The mix is absolutely great on this one. So when you, for example, check what I have a tool. Not the only one who's using this. It's called Spec, and Spec actually tells us how the frequencies are within the spectrum. And when you spec the Beber track, you see that on 16 kilohertz, the high frequencies are cut off, which is very nice because it doesn't sound bad to your ear, so it's not as loud. And yeah, I believe you can some will relate to this, maybe not. And I enjoy the pra so much because it is actually very international, but in German it sounds shorter, and it's used by German trap / cloud rappers, and it's sounding like pra. That is a bit shorter. It's pra, not pra, like the Spanish one, like pra. That's way different. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's really like this, Finn. I cannot do anything about it. So yeah, and what I'm also interested in the vocal in general. So how, you know, I would have to ask the boys whether it's sampled or recorded. I don't know, but it fits great and gives that little extra, you know. We're really one of my favorites. Boom, boom, boom. And there are 10 people watching. Thank you so much. Very appreciated yeah, and if you enjoy what I'm doing, feel free to share. David is in, thank you so much. And yeah, very thankful you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoy my review. Absolutely great track. As second one, the Beber, the Spanish and Japanese co-production by Crusy, Jose de Mara, and NORII. Yeah, and the Groove Crew on Insta is also with us. Thank you so much for joining, guys. And very thankful for Hannah for giving me the chance to be also here represent within my little bedroom studio. So oh, I don't know, Patrick. Where is this playing? Which city is it? Because I haven't heard of this festival yet, so I would be also very interested. Yeah. But for now, I believe I'll carry on to the next one. Stevie, yeah, the boss. David Novacek is also in. Great that you joined. Yeah, David had, I believe, a track on the previous compilation, Volume 1. And yeah, I got still plenty of tracks to come through. And I'm very thankful that we're actually meeting now all together in my stream. I'm very thankful for you guys. And yeah, and also Osman and Chica also over on Insta. So thank you very much for joining there as well. And yeah, up next, I would say, yeah. Absolutely club weapon, by the way, and I believe also festival weapon. So definitely one of my favorites, De Beber by Jose de Mara, Crusy, and NORII. Up next is track 3, not less amazing. Ostrava. Patrick, I will think about this. This sounds very interesting. I'll keep that in mind. I'll look, or maybe I'll just write you a message afterwards because I want to know more about this. Yeah. This is a Belgic and Spanish co-production, Double Pleasure from Belgium. They played, by the way, and I believe Hannah will remember this, on Tomorrowland Winter a couple of weeks ago in France. And yeah, they got in the studio together with Abel, Ramos, and Albert Neve with the track Like This Sound from Spain. Albert Ramos, by the way, for a long time in the scene already. And look who's watching, Eric De La Torre also joined. Thank you so much. And yeah, check out the melody and be careful because I recognize this on the third or fourth listening. So check this out, check the melody out of this drop. Like This Sound. This part, at the end. You know what that is? That is the so-called trial. And the trial is something that I heard for the first time on Tsunami, and then it got overused. So Tsunami by Dubs and Borges, you know, that one big room track from like 5 or 6 years ago. But it's so minor that I barely notice it. So you really have to closely listen to this. But as you say, Douglas, it's still a banger. Yeah, and there's something else I recognize about the breakdown, and I'm actually so happy that I'm doing this, because when I listen to, that's why, you know, I postponed my Bisicast to Thursday night instead of Tuesday, because I want to take a bit more time to listen to it once again, or twice, you know, to also think of certain stuff, you know, how it sounds like and how it, yeah, and what it reminds me of. For example, this part now, the breakdown, it has a trumpet or whatever, like some kind of aerophone to it. And this reminds me very much of Lisoy by Marco Shosov and Sepjek, but back then with a different melody. So it was a Size Records track back in, I believe, 2013. Very, very old already, so 6 years ago or something. And I'm actually wondering myself, wondering whether it's whether they got inspired by this. You know, I'm not actually saying it's a copy or whatever, but just saying, you know, that it might be, you know, inspired. And when it's about the mixdown, we already heard that it's very similar to the Beber, so from earlier. Also there, cut off at 16 kilohertz, so it's not as loud. Very nicely mixed, absolutely okay, very fine. Yeah, never mind, that's alright. Hannah is just writing me that actually she's on the train and it's a bit tough with the internet, but we'll get through it, don't worry about it. Yeah, but absolutely great one. A groove tool, I would even say. It's not as aggressive because with the kick, and it's not having a harsh sub bass, I would say. So yeah, it's not actually very yeah, it's still actually very nice, but I don't know. Yeah, the track is more about the synth and not very about the kick, so it's very fine. So also I believe when it's about this sound, very unique on the compilation. So yeah, absolutely cool. So also production wise, so when I criticize something, then I would say it's more about the creative level. Maybe we'll see when we go through all the tracks. But production wise, they're all very nicely made. So absolutely high standard and sounding, you know, very nice to the ears. This is important because we want actually, you know, to be a bit different from the usual sound that we hear on festivals. So because I hear, you know, to find good tracks for my Bisicasts, I have to go to a ton of very bad tracks that are too loud, for example, and we don't have this here on this compilation. So all tracks are very nicely mixed, very nice fitting, you know, to the ears. This is so important nowadays. To still remain the quality, you know, to not just be loud for being only, you know, in order to be loud, you know, to rip off the speakers, you know, on festivals. We are not for that. We are for groove, dance, you know, getting our body, our booty shaking. You know, this is important to me at least. I hope to you as well. Yeah. So this was Double Pleasure. Abel, Ramos and Neve like this sound, as I mentioned. Very, very cool. A bit of inspiration here and there, but, you know, very nice, very nice. This is important, you know. I'm not saying it's an inspiration. Up next, we have track 5. This is, actually I'm forgetting to drop all the links, but I will drop one, because one is enough. The track is, the compilation is already on Spotify. But, you know, it's important for me to talk about the tracks. I believe this is very nice, but I'll drop at least one link for the whole compilation. God Save the Groove on Spotify, Volume 2, the Miami edition. A mix by Kryder, and yeah, let me check this. I'll copy the album link, and then we'll put it all over here on our Facebook. Yeah. Next up, it is a Ukrainian and Italian co-production. The one guy is Incognet, and the two ones from Italy are Dual Beat and Yvvan back with the track Watch Out. And we should really watch out for this track, I would say. Because it has, yeah, yet another very unique unique drive. I love, how it, how the melody, sorry for my head, flows, on this one. And I know he covered it since 2015, since his track Liberum. And when you listen to this track, I can't really show it right now, you can really see a personal development as a producer, which is also important, yeah, because people forget about this very quickly. So I'll write down the Spotify link for the compilation, and I'll pin it so that you know what I'm talking about. Hope that this works. Yeah, pin comment. Yeah, and what I like very much about the track is the vocal. The vocal loops and goes on. The drop goes on for 1.5 minutes, which is very unusual. And I'm actually starting wondering whether the vocals are a bit too tiring. I don't know. What do you think? I would be, very interested in know what you think. And yeah, what I also want to mention is that what I found out that Dual Beat and Yvvan Back had a collab already this year called Para Baila. That was out on UPiece, the label UPiece, and it's a very Latin house-ish track. So this is very nice to listen to. And yeah, so as I mentioned, very interesting. Vocal FX goes basically throughout the whole track. So when we actually go a bit further there, we can still hear it a bit on low volume there, on the breakdown. And yeah, really proggy but still groovy. So this kind of mix, of groove and prog is very unique on this track. And yeah, the vocal slowly fades in again for the second drop. So yeah, you guys think the vocal is perfect? Yeah, it's absolutely great. Absolutely great. I totally second that. Now there comes the second drop. It's like, how, it just, sticks to one, I would say, groove, I would say. I will stick to one vibe, whatever you want to call this. I want. So sick. So sick. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very thankful for this collaboration, Ukraine and Italy. Very rare, I would say. This, this is so great about music. You don't care about who one is from or whatever. It's just, it's just about the music, and the same goes for us that are in love with Groove House. Yeah, Luca is in on the Groove Crew. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you enjoy, and everybody who's watching on Facebook, feel free to share my live stream so that more people can watch. And yeah, absolutely great one here by Incognet from the Ukraine, and Dual Beat and Yvvan Back with Watch Out. They were from Italy. And yeah, these guys, Dual Beat and Yvvan Back, I didn't know so much of them before. I knew Ukraine, like Incognet from the Ukraine for a longer time already. But yeah, absolutely sick. So I'm so in love with this. It really, you just, get stuck to this one vocal loop, and it goes on and on and on. You don't want to actually to stop it. So yeah, absolutely great. Yeah, the intro goes for 1 minute, which is actually very rare nowadays. I also want to mention. Really take the time to finish the track once again. Yeah, so because I'm actually playing to you the extended mixes, so that I would even say DJs are playing, or actually the producers are properly producing the extended mixes, for their own purpose. And yeah, because the radio edits, you can, add something, sounds are not there, where it is. And my personal experience is also that the radio edits are mixed in a different way than the extended mixes, which is actually weird. I don't know why this is happening, but yeah, some stuff, I can't really change about it. Yeah, up next, we're having number 5 on the compilation. This is a Colombian and Dutch co-production. One of my favorites, so I believe one of the 3 or 4 main favorites of mine. So one of these guys I know personally from ADE, Mr. Sid, here from the Netherlands, together with Holland, with Dave Ruthwell from Colombia, and they came up with this track called Storm. Yeah, so I know Miss Dave Ruthwell from Shake It Off last year. Kryder supported it a lot. I liked it actually instantly. It's so fresh, different. from the usual sound, usual stuff. And this track, when it's about freshness, uniqueness, is no exception. Another proggy and trancey feeling. So we had this already earlier on Collide, but not as uplifting. I would say more progressive. Yeah, not as a melodic, but I don't care actually. I like both. Yeah, and he made a losing it mashup with this. Absolutely, Michael. Yeah, you're right. Da, 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 da. Love the melody. Oh my goodness, so great. Yeah. So, and there's also a small vocal fix in the background. I believe that goes throughout the track. Yeah. And the drop then we'll hear for the second drop, like the build-up for the second drop is way longer. Yeah. And I have one thing that I found out about this track while listening to it. Yeah, there's this vocal FX there. So it starts here at 1 minute 30. Oh, yeah. So it actually sounds a bit strange. Yeah. But yeah, it's they really take the time to break the track, give it a break. This is also rare nowadays because the breaks nowadays are like 15-30 seconds long minimum, like maximum to a maximum. But this has at least 1 minute. So yeah, it's gets us kind of anticipated for the next drop. So yeah, absolutely. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I want to actually check the producers, but I forgot about this. So I'll try to start now because I want to talk so much about it, and then I forgot to check the producers, and I'm actually very sorry for this because I want actually to know that I'm playing right now. I know actually how Mr. Sid is on Insta. But yeah, you already heard it, this long build up and then the drop. Euphoria. Absolutely. So in love with this one. What's it called? Give me a second. Oh, dashes is very interesting. Yeah, actually, Douglas, I checked your inbox, but I believe I will focus tonight on the compilation only. And we'll play maybe some more tracks next week, I believe. Because it will be very tough, I want actually to... Also because I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. And yeah, I believe the other tracks won't really, fit very well. I checked it. Thank you so much for sending this. I'll check it afterwards. Thank you. And I'll, of course, respond to you then on Facebook as well. Because I checked it, don't worry about it. Actually, I can't really tag the people there, so I believe I'll just keep it like this. Because actually it's very tough to, yeah, there we go, okay. And, yeah, so I'm very thankful for, yeah, Dave Ruthwell that actually he played this, actually he produced this track together with Mr. Sid. Because I believe I talked with Mr. Sid with this, about this track a bit. And yeah, I am actually, and he told me, that he was actually, that Dave came up with the melodies and all that. Very creative guy, and I can totally second this. Very creative. Yeah, and what I also wanted to mention is these last 15 seconds of the drop, because they are a bit different to the usual track. This the melody is a bit higher, and that the melody goes higher for the last 15 seconds of the track is very typical in pop music. So to get a bit higher, to get more euphoric and uplifting feeling for a pop track, and this is actually unusual, for this kind of for our genre. Let's put it this way. So yeah, very surprising. Yeah, so I'm very thankful, Mr. Sid and Dave Ruthwell for Storm, and look who's watching, Jordan. Yeah, thank you so much for the track Collide, and yeah. I hope that I'm right now. Sorry for this if I'm not. Yeah, but actually, let's continue now with number 6 on the compilation. We have the track by Sir Styles. Actually, many of us know him as Mr. Styles, and actually now he leveled up. Let's say it's not a Mr. anymore. He's a Sir now. Yeah, Cyprus represent, I would say. to me, it sounds a bit like a tool. So like a tech tool with a bit of a rougher edge, I would say. Well, let's check it out for ourselves.
Yeah.
So in there actually he builds up all. So I love how all the producers really took an effort with vocals or vocal FXs or whatever. No matter whether it's a proper vocal like we had with Nico Lucarelli with Polite, or this one now, like a simple FX, you know, hot and cool, hot and cool, hot and cool, with the first styles here. So it's all the same basically. Yeah, I love the use of the claps. Check this out. Where are the claps? Now, there we go. 3 claps there. Very nice, very nice. It's the little things sometimes in a track that get me excited about it. And, you know, the more detail, you know, you have in the track, the more, you know, this is, what do you call, you know, that, I don't know what it's called in English, but, like, certain details in the track that, you know, makes you, you know, listen to the track over and over again, because it sounds so interesting, so refreshing, something you haven't heard before. And yeah, this was definitely the case here with Hot and Cool here. These claps. So little. And I would love to know, of course, what a vocal is from. So maybe with Mr. Styles or Sir Styles is watching. And it's so horrible when you have to do, yeah, so he's now Sir Styles with Hot and Cool. So as I already mentioned, a tool, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Luca, for joining. Thank you so much, and see you soon, hopefully. Yeah, rougher edge, I would say, because it's not like a clean tool or whatever. This one. Yeah, but there we have actually kind of a breakbeat breakdown here for Mr. Styles, or Sir Styles, you know, called. I believe, for me, I believe he also stay Mr. Styles, because he in general he's just Styles. So from Cyprus, I haven't been to Guava Beach yet. Maybe in the future. I heard that it's sick there. And many of my friends went there. Also Lindo, for example. Hannah was there with Brad, and Taylor was there, and Tony from Switzerland, Tony Calor, was also there. Yeah. And what's also interesting about the third drop, like the second drop here, is that we can already hear it. There's a siren. You can hear that now. Yeah, and this is actually, well, in my ears not necessary, but yet again, very nice mixing, not too loud. The only one that's loud now is I am basically. We can see 16 kilohertz cut off. So yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah, and the track goes also for over 5.5 minutes. Very nice. Yeah, the drop goes for 1 minute, so really, you know, takes the time to, you know, to get us excited for the track. Yeah. Yeah, so we are almost halfway through the compilation. I'm actually doing this rather quick. I didn't actually realize that. I'm live now for half an hour, so let's see how this will go on with the remaining tracks of this compilation. Up next, we're having also another one of my favorites. Yeah, and I want actually to tag the people now. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I would love to tag all the producers, but well, there's one that actually, yeah, it's a bit tough, I would say. Let me check if I can actually. I can't. Okay, so I'm gonna tag him as. But okay, because it's not Steve, but Stevie. That's the difference. Yeah, Marcus is watching. Thank you so much. And yeah, with the track, the next track is called Soul Heaven. It's also another one of my favorites, and I definitely wanted to tag the people in there. Yeah, so this is number 7 on the compilation, and yeah, this is a Portuguese and a US co-production. So Stevie, Krash, and Pete K are from Portugal. Sharif is from the US. And yeah, unfortunately, I had actually I don't have a problem with Al, but Al has a problem with me. Obviously, I can well, maybe I won't say this, but actually let's put it this way: we won't be best friends anymore, I believe, which is very sad because I believe, in my opinion, I didn't do anything wrong, and in his eyes, I did something wrong, which I didn't, in my opinion. But well, yeah, this is sometimes, you know, some people have different opinions about certain stuff, what they did, and sometimes, you know, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody in the scene, because our scene, in my opinion, is that our scene is so small that I believe to have any, you know, any wrong opinions or any, you know, any even enemies in the scene is totally wrong, in my opinion. So I only want the best for everybody. I really appreciate everyone's, you know, achievements in the scene. No matter how small, how big they are. You know, I'm not big. You know, I'm just, you know, here for the love of the music. Yeah, and that's why I actually don't want to say anything bad about anybody. It's just, you know, that I believe that me and Al won't be best friends anymore. I would put it this way. Okay, let's go to the back. You know, another favorite. Fantastic track overall. We go to the drop now, and I hope that Stevie and Pete will now join for Soul Heaven. Very nice, very proggy. What I love so much about it, you really build up the track slowly but surely. You really, you know, get us excited for the second drop. You take the time. We can hear that the melody is not yet on the first drop. It builds up, you know. And I'm very happy that Pete is on this track, because I know Pete for over a year now, I believe, since last year's ADE, and he had the track on Release Records, and I believe more coming up there. And yeah, and the melody slowly fades. It starts fading in at 1:30, and then it fully drops on the next drop. Wow, I love that proggy feeling that the melody gives me. It's so insane. Yeah, and it really kept it proggy. I feel like it feels like a firework of emotions, you know, progressive emotions, which is rare. Usually, this kind of emotions only Eric Prydz can give me, and you made this with this track. So, you know, unsuspected, but absolutely sick melody there, sick piano, Michael, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very thankful for this track. Very thankful. Very thankful. And yeah, very interesting is the mix down here, because it's not as uplifting as it could be, like we had with Collide, for example. But they kept it very proggy. So if you know, mix a track like way more uplifting, like Collide, it's a way different track. But now they really kept it, you know, progressive there with a long breakdown. So the breakdown goes 4 minutes. So from 2:15 to 3:15, and on 3:15 we have the, I believe, would say second or third drop, however you wanna count it. And yeah, this is Soul Heaven, ladies and gents. Absolutely, for me, definitely. And I love this very long build-up of X. Goes for, I believe, 30 seconds. When is the drop? When is the drop? I don't know. And actually, we know from the vocal there. Oh wait. Bum, 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 bum. And I love to sing the melody, you know, melody singer. I'm better at singing melodies than singing actual vocals. I'm honest. Yeah, but guys, thank you so much. Thanks to Stevie, thanks to Pete, thanks to Al for this absolutely fantastic progressive banger, what do you say? Definitely, you know, candidate for track of the year for now. I'm so happy. You know, when it's about the musical geniusity, however you want to call this, of this track. It's absolutely sick. So you really took the time, had an idea for the arrangement. This is so important. You know, you gotta appreciate the effort. You know, this is, even if maybe some of you don't really like that much, that style, the effort, you know, put into arrangement and mixing the way it is absolutely worth, you know, stressing and actually, you know, underlining, really figuring, you know, working it out. And, you know, Luke took the time for the outro. So the track is not as much 50, like almost 5 minutes, but you really took the time. So absolutely great. Yeah. Lance Senna is also joining over on Groove. Crew, thank you so much for joining. My name is Max Deasy. Yeah, I'm very thankful that Hannah and Brad let me to take over your channel on Insta as well. And yeah, I'm reviewing God Save the Groove Volume 2, only good music there, and tell you a bit my opinion about it, together with some of the, some of my experiences that I did already, I believe in 7 or 8 years now that I'm listening closely to electronic music. Mikael, aka Crusy, joined. Thank you so much. I reviewed your track, the Beber already. Thank you so much for this one. Amazing. I hope that you'll have fun with Arcadia Night coming up. 2nd of May, I believe, so next weekend. If I had known this earlier, not like in, let's say in January, for example, I would have planned it this way, that I would come to Arcadia Night, and after Arcadia Night, straight to Stockholm for Swedish House Mafia, because next weekend, I'm, not this one, next weekend I'm actually in thermal waters, so wellness weekend I'm gonna have with my family, and because my grandma is turning 70, so we're gonna have some fun and fair, but chill a bit. And then afterwards, I'm going to Swedish House Mafia next weekend, but I'm gonna talk more about this next week on my next podcast, where it's gonna be all about Swedish House Mafia. Up next, we're having the next track, Drippin by Thomas Newson and Jack Notes. Yeah, absolutely, Mikael. We need to catch up. I hope. Yeah, with Drippin, Italian-Dutch co-production. Yeah. Great here lead. You know, it has a constant groove with this hi-hat there. And then da-da-da-da-da. So very short melody FX, basically, or lead, however you want to call it. Yeah. And I'm surprised to see Thomas Newson on this compilation, because I know him from Spinning and Revealed. Probably right now, not anymore, I believe. He's also now a bit more independent, I would say. Yeah, and Jack Note from Italy is a very cool guy. He recognized me during ADE. So that was the party by Pete Dash. And I was very surprised that he recognized me, because he was watching, you know, some of my videos and said, wow, it's so amazing what you do. It's so cool. And yeah. Yeah, and it's actually, I was already mentioning the melody, like the lead, very tough to describe. So it's like tech drums with groovy leads, very tough to describe. But maybe that's what's so exciting about it. So that's actually what I think about it. So sometimes you don't need actually to be able to describe something. Just let it, you know, flow. Let it, let it feel, you know, inside your body, your mind, however you want to call it. Yeah. So this breakdown is also very long, because it goes for 1 minute and 45 seconds. Or so, no, sorry, 1 minute and 15, which is very long nowadays. And they really, you know, try to build it up slowly and all that. So the usual stuff, but not always as usual. So for the second drop, we have here a wonderful example of silence is an FX. No joke, silence is an FX. If used properly, if we drop it once again, we can hear the silence at the end, in before the drop. Yeah, almost. But actually, if used properly, silence can be a great FX. So yeah, don't underestimate silence. Really, silence is cool if used correctly. Like it's like the best impact sound in before drop, basically. So yeah, this was track number 8. Thomas Newson together with Jack Note. Another Dutch-Italian co-production, Drippin. Jungle. Great vocal effects. I want to know where it is from. So either recorded or maybe a sample pack. I don't know. I would love to know. I'll ask Jack Note. I'll ask him. Yeah. So actually I wanted to tag him as well, that I played it. So Thomas Newson and I believe Thomas Newson is the no, there. Okay, but maybe I'll do it with Jack Note. Yeah, I hate it actually. It's very tough to tag people on Facebook. So yeah, and Emma is also watching. Thank you so much for for joining. Yeah, this was Jack Note together with Thomas Newson and Drippin, which I actually cannot tag for whatever reason. Oh, I can him now. Okay, maybe I should just, you know, write it down just this way. Okay, yeah. Up next, one of my favorites. So one of the, I believe, I believe I have 3 main favorites, I would say. This is the last one. So Storm was one. Soul Heaven was now... Yeah, actually I have 4, yeah. The Beber, Storm, Soul Heaven, and Siente Calor, I would say. So these were definitely my favorite ones. Yeah. That, you know, personal, I don't know, that I have a certain feeling that I like all of them, you know? Some of the tracks have a different function, but still are very groovy, you know, and very techy, and, you know, still, you know, gets us moving, you know, it's all, you know, different, and I like so much about the compilation, basically, is that, that it is so diverse, you know, we have melodic ones, we have proper progressive ones, we have techy ones, yeah, so all of them are very unique, and Drippin is no exception, Michael, absolutely, you're right. Up next, learning Spanish with Les Castizos. Siente el calor, it's called. This is English for feel the heat. I had to Google this, but I'm not ashamed of it. I need to learn Spanish. Oh, absolutely. Yo, 3 languages are not enough. I need to have a 4th one, Spanish. Siente el calor. Let's feel the heat together, guys. Siente el calor. Yeah. I had an instant connection with this vocal shout, Siente Calor, into the drop. So that's actually what I like so much about it. I can tag them. Okay. So feel the heat, Siente el Calor, and I loved already the first track on the God Save the Groove Volume 1 compilation. Was back then it was called Bulerenge, and now we have Siente Calor. So we're feeling the heat. Very creative. We already heard. We hear it again. Those 2 leads, you know, switching up. Bom bom bom, bom bom bom. Yeah. And I'm of course interested where the vocal is from, because we have no idea. So yeah. Maybe some of the guys will join us, maybe, and will tell us, because we are all interested. Jack is watching, thank you so much for joining for my tag. I was just reading Drippin together with Thomas Newson, thank you so much for this one. I just want to ask you, Jack, once you're in, where's the vocal effects from that you played? That was just very interested, you know, because there's vocal effects going all throughout the drop, and I want to, very interested where this is from. Whether you sampled it, or was it a sample pack, or whatever, or individually recorded, everything is possible. Yeah. That's the only question I have, Jack. And how did you come together with Thomas Newson collaborating? Yeah. Yeah, Lance. I have no idea what this means in Spanish. I just know Siente el Calor is feel the heat, which fits very well to Spain, because Spain is very hot. I like to chop vocals and put in a sampler. Easy as that. Great idea, Jack Note. Great idea, Jack, and yeah. Siente el calor. Siente el calor. Feel the heat. This was up next by Les Castizos, number 9 on the compilation. Yeah, and we are almost in the last third and the last page of my notes. Feeling like a news anchorman a bit, I would say, like having this piece of paper and telling you what I'm reading, you know, for you. Yeah. So that's that. Siente el calor. Feel the heat. Feel the heat. Yeah, they really take the time also for the outro. 1 minute outro. Very, very cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, they just, you know, keep it on. I believe Demi-Tierra probably means of my land or something like this, or of my country. Because tierra is probably terra from Latin, earth or land. So yeah, feeling the heat of Spain, obviously. That's what I think. What I think. That's what that means, Lance Daniel. Over on Groove Crew, Instagram. Thank you so much if you're still with me. and it's so interesting to listen to all the different tracks. Yeah, because there are 6 left. Number 10 is up next. It's one of the guys that was already on God Save the Groove Volume 1, but not with an original track back then, but with a remix by the track, what is called, by Tom Starr, and the original is Mesueno, yeah? So it was Masi who remixed this on the third part of God Save the Groove Volume 1, and now he's back with an original together with Cuchara featuring. So this is the second track that has a feature. The first one was Collide. That was featuring Nico Lucarelli, and this one is now featuring Cuchara. So yeah, this is the second feature. Vocal sounds, the vocal is very interesting, especially in the beginning. So I love the groove on this one. I love these drums here. You know, it sounds a bit African, a bit African vibe to it. Djembe, like, it reminds me of a djembe. You know, a djembe is like one of these drums, American drums. Yeah. And if I listen to these vocals, oh, he's talking so quickly, and to me it sounds like a political speech. I don't know. This is just like my idea. I can barely understand this. I believe, Lance, you're Spanish, so I believe maybe you can tell us what he's talking about. Because after the drop, which is by the way very groovy, like a tech tool, but a bit better than a tech tool. It's so groovy, you know, it has a drive to it. Really wanna, you know, shake your booty to this one. Sick, absolutely sick. Yeah. So yeah, this is Naga Pedale. Better call. I guess I haven't mentioned this yet. Naga Pedale. So if someone's Spanish, please translate. I haven't looked it up. Sorry. I was a bit stressed in the morning. I just want, to listen to the tracks and give like a review on the track. Yeah, Dani is from Barcelona, by the way. I know that from the lead. From the live stream on, in Miami. They did like a 5-hour live stream from a hotel. Yeah, and a nice tool for constant chilly vibes. So it's still like, it's groovy. You want to shake your booty, but it's very chilled. Perfect for the afternoon. So that was great that Masi actually opened up for Kryder. For this Kryteria showcase. Yeah. Yeah, Jack, thank you so much. Yeah, keep it up. You too, as well. Maybe I'll write to you later on Facebook, because I have like 1 or 2 more questions I would be interested in. Yeah, so that's Dani Masi featuring Cuchara, Naga Pedale. Yeah. Another one from Spain, the main, source of Latin and groovy house music. Yeah. Up next, number 11. We have now the Greeks are coming in. The Greeks, yeah. Steve Diaz from Greece. I forgot to mention actually Dani Masi. Always forgetting this. Now it's too late, actually. I can forget this. Dani Masi. Yeah. He has 76,000 likes, so that's not very little. With Cuchara. And this track was called Naga Pedale. Thank you so much for this one, Dani. And yeah. Up next, Steve Diaz. I'll check if I can find him. Stefanos Diaz on Facebook with the track Changes. Let's see if he changes up a lot. This one. Yeah, it's actually a bit slower than the usual ones. Actually, don't know the BPM. I haven't actually measured them now. But yeah, we're getting close to the end. Just after this one, 4 more tracks are missing. Yeah. So let's check it out. Yeah. It has a bit of a deeper vibe. It starts at least off a bit of a deeper vibe. But the groove will come through. Will come through on the drop. Yeah. This is the vocal that is actually slowly building up. And when you go closer to the drop, so do my Anchorman thing here. It's not coming out of nowhere, right? and has like this kind of deep but yet still very groovy drop. So very unusual. So I believe also very very unique in a way how it is presented. Yeah, very nice one. So yeah. So I believe that also Olindo did a lot about this compilation. So yeah, if he actually found some of the tracks, huge shout out of course, because we'll have the issue like the case on the next one. Yeah, and then there was this drop now, and now we are heading over to the melody for the second drop. The track has 3 drops, which is also very unusual nowadays. Gonna party like it's 2011, 12, 13 or so. Yeah. And I got instantly hooked by the vocal there. And the main melody now. It has a bit of this Kölsch vibe, I would even say. But this kind of synth and melody reminds me a bit of Kölsch. Just maybe not as slowly as Kölsch, so the melody is a bit quicker, but it fits better for the vibe. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And 320 is my favorite part. So that's coming up now. So it is only a stark sub that we can hear now. And the vocal is messing around, like the main synth. It's so sick. So yeah, absolutely cool that he actually, also arranged, made this, kind of part of the arrangement. So yes, Stefanos, thank you so much for this one. We'll check the third drop now. Wait, the FX is, going on and going on. And then, slowly building up, slowly building up. And now, it breaks down for a few seconds. Starts with the melody again. Sick. And then, kicks. And then the proper main room-esque drop. So, very creative that he really took the time, broke it down, started with the melody with these few kicks, and then dropped it in full. Very, very cool. Because, people don't really take their time to think of something like this. How would, what would the perception of the listener be? And this is actually what I think is so unique for producers when they watch me, that I have a very different perspective, I'm not the crowd, I'm just one person that talks about the feelings he has with the track, and I hope that I articulate that very well for all of you, and that you're having fun with what I'm saying. Both my usual people that are watching me and also the producers. So yeah, absolutely great one here by Steve Diaz. And yeah, the next one is probably the most I would say surprising one. Yeah, so we have 4 tracks left, and number 12 on this list here, on a compilation, is the track Mama Ali, and the track is by Choose Up. And I'm honest, Choose Up was not, I didn't know Choose Up before. So yeah, I believe we have to finish now over I believe on both of my Instagrams, but I will resume it afterwards for the last 4 tracks. So yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna tell you a bit about Choose Up and Mama Ali. Choose Up is a guy from Sydney, for what I actually looked up, and yeah, Will Choose Up, I believe he's called. And yeah, and Mama Ali is actually a track. I would say that so what I want actually to say is that Choose Up only has 266 likes. So as of in the morning, and actually that made me think about why didn't I discover him. Maybe, I don't know what is the right way to say it, but I don't know, a few years back, I remember, for example, maybe some of you guys know the producer Arsten from Belarus, and when I discovered Arsten, back in 2012, this guy had 43 likes. I remember that very well, because Arsten used to be a huge name in our scene. Now it's not really. I believe he's probably more ghost producing now. I don't know, very tough to say, but not really as not as much as like, you know, releasing as arson. Yeah. So and it seems like someone on Kryteria discovered this guy, and yeah. Vocal loop makes up the whole track. Let's listen to this vocal loop. And I hope that I'll be back in a bit on my Insta. So very actually slow, you know, quick build up of the vibe and all that. So yeah. But you know, still very nice to listen to. I believe a proper tech tool, but fits very well in the compilation. I love, you know, also like tracks like these that are, you know, slowly, you know, building up the anticipation. Also, if they are from a producer you don't know. So okay, yeah, Stevie, thank you so much for watching so much. It's you know, 3 tracks left afterwards, so you almost watched the whole thing. Thank you so much, and yeah, I hope to speak to you soon. I can't wait for the next tracks by you, of course. All the best for future label deals. Because, you know, label deals can be a pain in the ass sometimes. I know it from several producers that say, well, I have stuff ready there, and yeah, and well, the release is taking very, very long. Yeah, I'm welcoming all the people over on Groove Crew Instagram. Hannah was so kind to let me take over for this special review of God Save the Groove Volume 2. So there are now 3 tracks left after Choose Up from Sydney with only 266 likes as of today morning with Mama Ali. Also here he's slowly building it up, and the whole track is basically built around the vocal. Yeah, very techy vibes, but it fits great into the general vibe of the compilation. So it's also good to have a track like this. Actually, very surprising, I would even say. Yeah, and that's how it, you know, turns out. Yeah, 3 tracks to go. Hope that we'll watch afterwards. Very thankful. And I'll of course tag all the producers on my Facebook when I put up the YouTube link afterwards. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, up next after the intro, because the track goes for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Very nice tech tool. Also the intro goes for a minute, so really took the time to that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, up next, number 13. Number 13 is a guy from Italy called Mag, pronounced or spelled M-A-G-H. And M-A-G-H is, Mag, I believe he's written down, called My Booty. My Booty. And, yeah. He has around 2,000 likes, so a bit more than Choose Up. And yeah, he had a remix played on Funk Radio before, Funk Radio by Dani. And I saw in one of the Kryteria live streams that, like Kryteria Radio live streams, that Olindo is liking the track a lot. And yeah, and this is, I believe, another track that is very tacky with a groovy edge to it. And the vocal, of course, is unforgettable. Okay. Yeah, and the vocal goes through mostly the whole track. So yeah, it's another very techy tool there. Yeah, and the vocal comes in, I believe, after 30 seconds. Not yet. Yeah, anyway, it slowly fades in now. Yeah, and I believe it's gonna be a bit larger now. Like, we're gonna hear it a bit better. Yeah, I love, you know, how they actually use the kind of, you know, backspin effects. Very rare nowadays. I got my booty out, exactly. Yeah. So let's check out the breakdown. This one. Yeah, so I haven't heard of Mark, neither of Choose Up nor Mark before. Steve Diaz was actually, I believe I heard the track of him earlier. and it's actually the vocal is going all throughout the breakdown, and there are FXs in the background that build up into the next drop. So yeah, very interesting to listen to this. Yeah, he's adding these little FXs in the beginning of the second drop there, and sticks to this groove, this very techy one, very small sub bass, a lot of percussion going on this one. So very interesting. Yet another tech tool on this compilation. So I believe with Mama Ali and Naga Pedale was also one of these. So they are to me like in the same category roughly. That's what I said in the beginning. So that those 3 tracks are tools that are great, for example, for playing it in a warm-up set. And yeah. And there are 2 tracks remaining. One guy is from Greece, the other one is from Italy. So we already had these nations earlier. Yeah, and it was absolutely great to. At the end, he's having like these reversed Krash. So it's actually also very interesting to listen to this. Also, like producers don't really take the time to think about something after the outro. Basically, like the outro is there and it's over, the track is over. But then he actually had this small reversed hi-hat, very nice, or Krash, however you want to call it. Up next, Agent Greg with Get Down. Yeah. So I wanted to I'm not sure what I looked for Mac. Yeah, there he is. And the track was called My Booty. So yeah, that's that one. And up next, we're having Agent Greg, also from Greece, just as Stevie with Get Down. And this track, or this kind of vibe on the track, I have very great memories because it reminds me of the golden Susumi era, I would say.
Everybody gets down.
So when it's about the vibe of the drop, just with a different melody, it reminds me a bit of one of the early releases on Susumi Records back then. It was called Jedi by what's the guy called? Tom Tiger, exactly, Tom Tiger. So Jedi, and it was a bit of a different lead, a bit more, I would say louder lead, more quicker lead. This one's a bit more chillier. So yeah, great groovy synth, a bit updated, still sounds good. Yeah, and the drop goes for 1 minute and 30 seconds, so this is also what I love very much. So it's basically 2 drops I kind of put together. Very cool. Yeah. Okay. So let's check the breakdown on the previous last, or actually one to last track here, because then one last one is left. So yeah. It's a very, I would say, basic breakdown. So actually, he's very quickly kind of anticipating, the build up, into the drop. Jacob is watching on my Insta. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, hope you enjoy this small but little review now. The last 2 tracks of God Save the Groove, Volume 2, by Kryder on Kryteria Records. Out now. For example, this one, Asian Greg, Get Down. He had the hi-hats on the second drop. You can hear this. Zack, 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 zack. Yeah. Yeah, the second drop only goes for 30 seconds in comparison to the 1 minute 30. But maybe he wanted, Greg maybe wanted to do this way, because the first track was already, the first drop was already a minute and 30 seconds long, and yeah, and second drop is only 30 seconds, but he takes the time for the outro, so it's slowly, breaking down everything, fading out. EQing out, of course. Takes time for the outro. 1 minute outro, I believe. 1 minute outro. So very, very cool. It really takes the time. Yeah. So they have 30 seconds there, and then another 30 seconds to finish the track properly. Yeah. And that way we managed our way after an hour and 10 minutes to the last track of the compilation, which will also be the last track of tonight, because I already mentioned I want to focus only on the God Save the Groove Volume 2 compilation this week. So let's talk about this last track. It's called Borealis, and it's by Abel from Italy. And Abel already had a track on the first God Save the Groove compilation, Volume 1, back in November. Back then it was called. I would have to look it up. I didn't write that. No, I wrote down. On the Fly it was called, exactly. On the Fly, and it was, I believe, on the compilation by Kato Anaya, so the second one. This is a kind of a follow-up. A bit proggier track, but yet still very groovy. Let's check it out. What Abel did here for us. Well, the first drop in a minute is actually roughly we can compare this very well to Soul Heaven. A very similar arrangement. So we had like this drop with not the full melody yet there. It's just EQ'd, waiting, to be released. When the melody wants to get released on the. Yeah, but in that case, actually, he's really breaking it fully down. So yeah, absolutely beautiful piano vibe there. Yeah, a bit proggier, but still very groovy. And I believe in general, singles tracks are very unique. So in that way, so this kind of style is very unique, and it fits very well on the compilation. And of course, a great finale to the compilation. Very cool. These congas there, wow. So there's really a lot going on the track. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I believe the melody goes here now fully after 2 minutes and 45 seconds roughly. So, yeah. And it's a bit slower that I would actually play it, maybe a bit quicker, but yeah, still very cool. And yeah, I'm very thankful for Abel with the track, Luigi. Yes, I put Abel there. Borealis. Yeah. So a great finale to the God Save the Groove Volume 2 compilation, the Miami edition mixed by Kryder. Yeah. I hope that you enjoyed it, both on Insta and because I believe on Insta I'm only on 5%, so I really have to be quick to finish. But let's enjoy these last few piano vibes here by Abel from Italy, Borealis, the final track of the God Save the Groove compilation, Volume 2, the Miami edition, mixed by Kryder. Yeah, what should I say? I very enjoyed this track. A great track to finish it, and yeah. Let's check again the last drop of this compilation. No, I love singing melodies. It's just in general so in love with this. Yeah, that's it, guys and girls. That was God Save the Groove, Volume 2 Miami edition, mixed by Kryder. Out on Kryteria Records now, on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, where I bought the extended mixes. Yeah. What else to say? Yeah, and of course all other digital platforms. Beatport not yet. Hopefully soon, very soon. Yeah. Okay. So maybe a few last words to this compilation. Overall, I'm very happy. Of course, I do not love all the tracks equally. Of course, we have some tools in there, just Mama Ali or My Booty or Naga Pedale, already mentioned. But I believe I don't have to love all equally, because all have like different subgenres of groovy house music. We have progressive ones, we have very groovy ones, like rougher, let's say groovy ones. We have those tech tools, which are also very important. Some of course more uplifting, as already mentioned, and I'm of course very interested to see the future development of these compilations. I believe their Kryteria is doing very fine with these. They are loved by the producers, by the fans, also by me, or by myself. And yeah, but I hope that after these two compilations, also Kryder will start to release some of his highly anticipated tracks, as I mentioned already in the beginning of the broadcast. So we are waiting for Blade 3000, for example, his collaboration with, I believe, Benny Benassi. So Benny Benassi actually was on the God Save the Groove boat party during ADE in October last year. I had a pic with him. Oh my goodness! Like he's first guy that ever knew what Electro House was about. So Benny Benassi introduced us to Electro House back then with Satisfaction, I Love My Sex, and all these tracks. Absolutely legend. Absolutely an absolute legend. Yeah. So we have this one. We have Blade 3000. We have Get Funky. We have the Sunshine ID, I believe. So there's loads and loads of stuff going on. So that is actually kind of ready to get released. So I hope that it will be soon. And yeah, I'm interested in whether there also be going to be singles by other producers. So because we only had basically Kato Anaya only for now, because the first one was Kryder and Steve Angelo. We had Kryder and Kato Anaya. Then we had the bass Menchaks with Bingo Bango Kryder and Tom Star remix. Then we had the God Save the Groove compilation volume 1 and God Save the Groove compilation volume 2. And now it's time, I believe, for more original material by Chris. Would be very interesting because he was in the studio this week finishing up some stuff. Hopefully it's going to be all ready now for festival summer. Yeah, and yeah, I'm very interested to see how this will go on with Kryteria. I enjoyed the compilation a lot. With, as already mentioned, 3 or 4 like highlights for me. The Beber, Storm, Soul Heaven, and Siente Calor. But like tracks like Collide, Watch Out, Hot and Cool, I don't like them less. Yeah, they just like, I know they just stand out for me personally. But you know, I like all the tracks. They are very cool, and I'm very happy to hear that music. You know, that there is an alternative for you know, something between mainstream and underground. You know, there I believe there we are. David Tord already said this. We are too mainstream to be underground and too underground to be mainstream, and I believe this is very true. Yeah, these were great words to finish this broadcast. Hope that you enjoyed it. Hope that Chris enjoyed it, and the guys at Kryteria Records as well. And yeah, next week I'll be back with another regular episode, and also probably anticipate a bit or look forward to Swedish House Mafia in Stockholm on May the 4th. Yeah, can't wait for this one. And yeah, also very thankful for the Groove Crew once again that I could take over for you on Instagram. And yeah, hope that you also had fun with my review here from my basically bedroom studio here. And yeah, I hope to see you next week on the next Bisicast, and I can't wait for more stuff by Kryteria. And of course on the next Kryteria Radio live stream next Wednesday, hopefully. Okay, so thank you for now. My name is Max Busy. Hope that you enjoyed it, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye.